Hey y'all, it's your girl Meesh with another episode of Love Meesh podcast. We have some lovely, calming, relaxing ocean waves in the background today. I was supposed to talk about altar work because I am about to do a 21-day fast following the book Sacred Womb by Afua, and we start Wednesday, and I have yet to get my altar together. You can follow me on social media platforms as Love Meesh, and that's LUV_MEESH. On Snapchat, for instance, I was showing a preview of my altar. I still have work to do, and Wednesday is my last day, so chop. But today, since I'm not prepared for the altar, I was actually reading her book and I read everything but the altar part. It's just so interesting. I'm researching Egyptian terms, and people think that they were worshiping other gods. No, they were not worshiping other gods. They understood clearly that there was one God or one creator being, and that they called it NTR, one of the most highest creators. But they had other, I don't know if you call them deities, or let's just say aspects of that particular God that they gave reverence to as well. And I think other cultures are like that too. So while we were out here thinking they're worshiping multiple gods, misunderstanding clearly, they understand that there's one God. They just give credit to the other attributes of the God as well. For example, best, BES, is the aspect of expansion. So I don't think they're saying, oh, Bess, thank you for creating me. They know NTR created them. But I'm sure if they wanted expansion in their life, they're going to give some praise and worship or offerings on their offer to Best, BES. And I clearly understand that. So yeah, I was getting lost in that. And then I looked up and I was like, oh my God. Almost time to do my podcast. I tried to do it on the 7th, 17th, and 27th, but I think this one is going to be coded as the 18th because I pushed the record button too late. However, one of my favorite things, and I have many, is sharing is caring. And I try to ask myself, like, what did I share today? We research and learn a lot on our own. And if I die, it's going to leave with me. So if I share it with someone, whether they are ready to receive it or not, I've planted a seed. And when it is ready to grow, it will. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So one thing that I wanted to share today, which really blessed my life because somebody shared it with me. I graduated college and I am dreading my 6th month, in which time to pay back student loans. But one of my coworkers, she was like, girl, you better look up public service loan forgiveness. So I'll say that again. Public Service Loan Forgiveness, PSLF. And this organization is going to bless my life so much. Let me tell you how it works. So in order to qualify, you must have a qualifying employer. It has to be a government, not-for-profit organization that's tax exempt under Section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code, or a private not-for-profit organization that provides certain public services. Serving in an AmeriCorps or Peace Corps position is also qualifying employment. So isn't that amazing? You do have to work full-time. At least 30 hours a week is what they consider full-time. And you have to be with one of those employers. So if you meet those two, then you're in. What they're going to do is record, or they're going to capture all of your loans and convert them into their program, of course. and they are going to start counting your payments. Once you reach 120 qualifying payments, they will pay off the rest. Yes, sign me up. So I hope that blesses someone's life, because I don't want to die paying off my student loans. And I don't want my insurance money to be taken up with these goddamn student loans. So I just thought that was interesting. There's so many programs out there like this. Had she not told me, I would have never known. Like, so who else knew about this? None of y'all was going to tell me? Oh, okay. And let's say you make a late payment, as long as it's 15 days after your scheduled due date, they'll still consider it as a timely payment. Isn't that amazing? So that's one thing that I wanted to share, because it is definitely going to bless my life. I called the lady and I was asking her, like, how do I start off? Like, I was ready to go. She was like, when did you graduate? I was like, December. She was like, honey, wait for your deferment to end. And then she was like, for sure, they'll call you. I'm with Nelnet. She was like, they'll call you or email you. Check your email. And then she was like, then call us back and we'll get everything going. But I went ahead and printed out the application and kind of reviewed it. I just cannot tell y'all how much that blessed my life. And I was just, oh my God, I was just saying to the universe, like, okay, student loans, house, finish off this car, just like throwing it in the air, and that answer came to me. So I just want to make sure I share that with someone else. All right, so today I decided to talk about different things, just to like put in your mind, to let it swim around in your mind. When it's ready to take root and grow, it will. And one of them is like world religions. You know how we celebrate Christmas? Do you know there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This was just on one page that I printed out. Religions that have the same story. So you know how God was born on December 25th? There's one that's called Krishna of India, was born on December 25th, 3228 BC. His mother was a Viking mother, and his mother's name was Maya. The name Krishna means black or dark. His uncle Kamesh, the ruler at the time of his birth, sought to kill him because he had heard a prophecy that Krishna would overthrow him. Krishna escaped death by being smuggled out of the area to safety. Sounds like Herod and Jesus, does it not? Krishna's stories and Jesus' story fit together like a hand in a glove. That's one. And I'm not going to read them all. It's going to take too long. But I just want to give you the names. Maybe you can kind of look them up. But the next one is Muahhh of Persia, was born on December 25th before 1500 BC. And his birth was witnessed by shepherds. Okay, the next one is Horus of Egypt, born on December 25th before 2500 BC. His mother Isis, I know you guys are familiar with that one, gave birth to him in the swamp. And she was warned by the god Thor to flee and conceal the child from evil Set. The next one, Buddha of India, born December 25th, 563 BC. His mother's name was Maya, similar to Mary, and she was a virgin. He was immaculately conceived at birth, and he announced that that he was a savior of the world. The next one is Badoa Fat, was a god of the Orient BC 1027. Orient, born 1027 BC. His mother was a virgin, and he was born of royal blood. The king sought to kill him at birth. Sounds familiar. The next one is, I could totally be saying these wrong. Sound it out, girl. Quetzalcoatl. Let me just spell it for you. Quetzalcoatl was a god of the Western Hemisphere. He was born of a virgin around 900 BC. He was sojourned in the wilderness and fasted for 40 days and was crucified. The next one is Hercules, son of the god Zeus. I know you're familiar with that one. Born around 500 BC, predestined by birth to inherit the throne of Argus. Hera, the jealous wife of Zeus, desired the throne for another and sought to delay the birth of Hercules. The next one, Attis of Phrygia, born around 1200 BC. His mother was a virgin. His name was Nana. He was a shepherd and reported to have died under a pine tree. Getting pretty close. He was alleged to have risen from dead at Easter, the vernal equinox. All right, y'all. Last one. Tammuz, Tammuz, born around 2600 BC, was hailed as the only begotten son of the god Ea. His mother was a virgin by the name of Ishtar, Istar. As an infant, he was hidden in a chest by Aphrodite, the goddess of love, and entrusted to Persephone, the goddess of the netherworld. So y'all, same story, different time frames, but the same date. Don't forget, December 25th, all of them. Well, no, I take that back. The first few said December 25th, and then the last one, they just gave you when. But why are the stories the same? I'm just saying, you have to open up your mind. You don't have to believe everything. But if your mind isn't open, you're not even going to look at this stuff. I mean, I'm just saying. Caring is sharing, right? All right. Another thing that I wanted to share with you guys are hurts. So, and I'm on a baby journey. Like, this is new to me, but just like anything else that you learn, the more you research it, the more you read it, the more you live and breathe it, you learn more, you're able to understand it more, etc. So you got to start somewhere. But I know you guys have heard about frequencies, and if you have not, then let me be the first to bring it to your attention. So the frequencies apparently do different things. So we have, and if you go to YouTube and just type in hertz, all of them are going to come up. Like, people literally sleep to this. You have 9 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours. Actually, at work on my calls, I have it playing in the background. It is so calming for those stressful customers. And sound is really beneficial to us. Like, hello, we have ears, not just to hear somebody yap, but what other things do your ears listen to? You hear the waves in the background? Is that not calming? So the first one is 396, and there's probably more, but I'm just going to tell you the ones that I have. 396 hertz, it turns grief into joy. 417 hertz cleanses traumatic experiences. 528 hertz repairs DNA. 639 hertz emphasizes communication, tolerance, and love. So it strengthens relationships. 741 hertz, power of self-expression, and it cleans toxins. 852 hertz awakens intuition and returns spiritual order. 963 hertz restores spiritual original spirit light of God. Now, there was a scientist, Dr. Natu, I'm going to have to look up the name. What he did was he said positive, beautiful words to a cup of water. Like, I love you, you're beautiful, whatever you can think of. And he froze it. And then he used negative words. I hate you, you're ugly, fuck you, like, whatever, negative. And he froze that water. When he pulled them out to look under the microscope at the pattern of the frozen molecules, the lovely good words were beautiful. Look just like snowflakes. You know how the kids cut out snowflakes? So just beautiful. In perfect order. And then when he looked at the other water, which was chaotic, mean, hurtful things. It was, number one, it was dirty and murky. There was no shape. It looked like a disease. And whoever gave him that brilliant idea, we are made of 70% water, you guys, our body. So you know how they say words don't hurt sticks and stones and break your bones. Words will never hurt me. Yes, the fuck they will. Better watch what you listen to. We might hear the words in the beat, and I'll be the main one bobbing to the beat. But what is that frequency? You know what I mean? And I just gave you the good ones. So what are the negative frequencies doing? And if your body is made of 70% water, you should definitely be paying attention to the frequency, because that's your DNA right there. But you can look up solfeggio frequencies, SOLFEGGIO frequencies. But I just thought that was so interesting. And let me pull up the doctor's name. And you can tell that I was not freaking prepared for this. Dr. Imato came right up. See, I'm close, y'all. MASARUEMATO. And let me say that again. MASARU is the first name. Last name EMOTO. So Dr. Emoto. So if you go to YouTube and type it in, he has actual pictures of it. I kid you not. Called the water experiment. And this is just from him freezing it. What is going on with our live bodies walking around? So if he froze the water and it was murky with those negative things, if people are constantly saying negative things to you, or you're constantly letting negative things around you, like, what changes that frequency? Is it just negative all the time? Is it just positive all the time? You know what I mean? Like, this is something worth looking into. This is the shit that I be wanting to research and talk about. They got us looking at all this reality TV and Trump and this, that, other, just stuff that, now I'm not going to say that it doesn't matter. I know politics is very important and different changes that are going to happen. But this is something that you can control yourself. You can control what you listen to. And you can put on different frequency music and stuff. So I just personally try to focus on things that I can change, because there's too much stuff in this world that I can't change. And I know when a lot of us come together, we can. But the point is, we aren't. So let me just focus on the thing that I can do on my own to change, versus waiting for everybody to get on one accord so that we all can make a big impact. So it starts with you. So that's one thing that I wanted to share. Let's see. When I flipped the page, I saw his name. My notes is all over the place, y'all. I remember I was in training, and no, I had just came back to work. We had been on furlough from December. This was not this year, but the year before last. And so in January, you got to do all your computer, like ethics training and stuff like that, like computer simulated. I agreed, this, that, other, and test out. And I was done. I just was like, you still there. You're going to get paid for your time. And I remember I was researching it. People walk up my desk like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm researching. Like, I had my pen, my paper, my headphone. And all of this stuff was just poured into my spirit on my own now, y'all. If you ask universe, like, I want to know more, it'll come to you. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I literally asked for it. And I asked for it when I was ready, and it started coming. And I don't think it's ever going to stop. Like, you will never master it. I don't care if you have a PhD in something. It's always more to learn. But another thing is an M. Like, I think I'm empathic. I can walk into a room, and I can pick up on the energy. I don't even have to know you. I can just pick up on it. And it makes me uneasy. Like, especially with family and friends, I literally want to leave. Like, I don't even want to be around that. Because it is so heavy. It's like a burden. But I try to stay and make little comments and try to change the atmosphere, because it's just so uncomfortable. But I really can put myself in someone's shoes and understand how they feel. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, you don't want to look at scary movies. It's not that I don't want to look at scary movies. I can literally put myself in her shoes, and I'm feeling all of those emotions. Plus, the music that they have in the background, come on, y'all. It makes you feel a certain type of way. So, not only am I picking up the energy from the music that they're playing, she's screaming, he got a knife, you see blood splashing everywhere, a head flies up. Like, that is too much for me being an empathic. It's too much, and I don't even want that being in my eyes. They say your eyes are the portal to your soul. Why do I want to look at that? Like, why? Like, growing up, that stuff used to come on at night. Now little babies are able to see this at any time. Like, why? Who even came up with that genre? Why do we want to see somebody killing somebody? It's a few incidents where, you be like, all right, that, I got to protect myself, so it's me or you. But to just be going around killing people for sport, for a movie to make #1 box office, like, what? Like, growing up, we had actual shows with meaning. And not to say, like, Jason was right, but wasn't he trying to, like, kill his sister or something? And he had like a medical condition, and then Chucky wanted to get into another body. Like, stuff at least had like a storyline. Now it's just like a game of death or whatever. I don't know. I'm not into it. But anyways, back to the imps. The highest imp is a Hyeyoka, Heyyoka, and you can look this up on YouTube. They are the most spiritually in tune. It's a Native American term. They are able to pop into people's mind and heal them. They're able to be a reflection back to other people. And I thought that was interesting. And I've heard that so many times, like, people that you meet or different situations that you go through, like, everybody is a mirror. My spiritual guide, Miss Sharita, told me that. She was like, everybody that you encounter is a mirror. Now, if that don't make you uncomfortable, I don't know what will. So you mean to tell me that this angry customer on the phone that is just like mad because you didn't know the rules of being self-employed, that taxes are due on a pay-as-you-go basis, so as you make income, you need to be paying your taxes. How do I know what I'm going to make? You're supposed to use Form 1040-S, guesstimate what your taxes are, divide that by 4, and send in 4 quarterly payments. Like, I had to learn this. You would think if you're starting a business, you're going to learn this, and if not, hire someone. I'm the main one that will advocate for that. I don't want to sit down and learn this stuff. I don't want to be penalized for it. Let me hire somebody that knows what they're doing, that could steer me in the right direction. Hello, that's what payroll is for. You could pay for people to do things right. You could pay them and watch what they're doing and learn for yourself. Or you could roll up your sleeves, learn on your own, and get it right. But don't call my line fussing and giving me that energy. So I have to think, okay, so this person is a reflection of me, and I need to remember that, or I'm going to have to eat these words. So, prime example, when I'm in the car late for work and I'm yelling at the person in front of me, that same thing goes for me. No, honey bun, don't be mad at them for driving however slow they want to drive. If you would have got up earlier, then you could drive as slow as you want, or they could drive as slow as they want, and it would not affect you because you still got plenty of time to get to work. So it's like, again, a reflection back on you. Some other terms that came to me were indigo child, rainbow child, crystal child. So you can go look these up. Apparently, the indigo children were born from the 1960s to the 1980s. And they're supposed to be like rebellious and warrior-like. And then the rainbow children were born from the 1980s to the 2000s. They're supposed to be strong, pure, imaginative, empathic, emotional, and easygoing. All right, that's my group. Did not I just say that I was empathic? So I'm part of the rainbow clan. And then the crystal kids are born from 2000 forward. And they probably have some other names by now, but when I was researching this, that's where it basically kind of stopped. But the rainbow kids are positive. They're happy, loving. Hard to keep they want to be like animals, like free. Not the dog and cats, because apparently those are not free. As much as we have dog and cat lovers out there, those animals are not free. They are little slaves to give you love and emotions, because you're not getting it from the billion of people in this world. And don't get me wrong, I know we're supposed to love and support our animals, but why not do that freely? I mean, what are we going to do next? Make it okay to have baby elephants as pets? And then once that happens for so long, it'll be the norm. Like, I just wonder, when did it become normal to have a cat and a dog? Didn't that start out as like the cat species with the lions and cheetahs, and the dogs was from the wolves? Like, how much breeding did we do to get all these different brands that we have today? And who decided I want to make a cheetah a pet, or I want to make a freaking wolf a pet? And here we are, years and generations later, with all these different variations. That animal went from wild to domesticated. Anyways, that's another rant for me. So much to share. So much to share. Okay, so we all have an aura field surrounding us. And I'm a social media baby, so Instagram has taught me so much. But I saw a picture of different aura fields, magnetic fields, when a person was angry, shy, and it literally is like the perfect one is just like an oval around you. And they always draw like little beams coming out, because I guess that's your energy, your frequency going out. And then as it went through the different emotions or the different things that the person was going through, that shape would change. Like, it would start to be jagged, or one of them had like arrows going at someone, and one of them had arrows coming in. And it was just interesting. Like, okay, they don't really teach us this. I have an aura field. So that's why it is important to sage. You probably should sage every day. You probably should keep it in your car. Get some sage spray for at work. But just like you take a bath every day, you should be spiritually cleaning your aura. And we don't. And I think in the Christian world, when you go and get laid hands on, they're probably just cleaning up your aura field. Something that you should be doing every day, and you waited until whenever you wanted to walk down to the altar to get it cleaned. Ew. I love my church people, but it's just so much more that they do not go into, and it just saddens my soul. So I'm going to just stop right there on that. Be careful with your words, guys. Spelling is a spell. So you're either blessing or you're cursing. And don't the Bible say you will eat the fruit thereof? So you thinking you out here cursing people, it's definitely cursing yourself. And if you want to curse somebody so much that you can benefit from the curse yourself, then you on a whole nother level. Because as bad as I may, and I can get angry, and I can get there to want something bad to happen to somebody. But what would save me is it's karma. Like, I don't want that shit coming back to me. So you do you, boo. Universe got it. And I'm going to continue to sow my good seeds. But if you don't care about that, you a bad mama jamma. There's so much stuff on here, y'all. I just wrote down a whole bunch of stuff to research. Okay, so we talked about frequencies, chakras. I printed out big pictures of the colorful chakras for my altar. And I'm going to go over them with you. So you have the crown chakra. That is above your head. So the crown of your head. The color is violet. And the symbol is 1,000 It's like a flower with 1,000 leaves. The healing crystal would be the moonstone. The pitch vibration, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, sound bowls, would be B. And there is even a yoga pose for it, which is the rabbit pose. So that's crown. Think of a crown on your head. And then you have the third eye chakra, which everybody should know this, whether you're Christian or not, because it's, you know, whether you believe it or not, you've seen it. So it's the third eye on your forehead. So if you close your eyes, if there was another eye looking, it will be on your forehead. So they normally say between the eyebrows. The color is indigo, which is a shade of blue, like maybe blue and purple. The symbol is the 2-petal lotus. The healing crystal is the amethyst. The pitch vibration is A. The suggested yoga pose is child's pose or downward dog with the forehead resting on a block. The next one is the throat chakra, and it's located on the throat. The color is blue. It is the 4-petaled lotus. The healing crystal is the lapis lazuli. The pitch is G, as in girl. The yoga pose is plow pose, followed by fish pose. Then you have your heart chakra, which, again, your heart, it's green. And I always thought that was pink. Wrong. Green. And the flower is the 12-petaled lotus. The healing crystal is rose quartz, which is pink, which is probably why I thought it was pink. The pitch vibration is F as in Frank. The yoga pose is camel pose, or your favorite back bend. The next one is solar plexus. It's just above your navel. The color is yellow. It's the 10-petal lotus. Healing crystal is citrine. The pitch vibration is E as in Edward. The suggested yoga pose is plank pose. Oh my God, those are so hard. I did trap yoga. Oh, I think she counted 10 seconds. I couldn't even make it to 3, I think. Good Lord. The next one is the sacral chakra. It's located at the pelvis. It's orange. The 6-petaled lotus is the flower. The healing crystal is the ceruleum. Sorry, y'all. I'm not good with these names. Pitch vibration is D as in dog. The suggested yoga pose is the Buddha Konasana. And the last one is the root chakra, which is at the base of your spine or your pelvic floor. The color is red. It's the 4-petaled lotus. Healing crystal is smoky quartz. Pitch vibration is C. Suggested yoga pose is Malasana squat. So there are 7 of them. There are actually, when I was researching, there's a lot more. Apparently there's one for each nerve ending in your body. And my sister went to school for physical therapy. There are so many nerves. It's ridiculous. But I think those are like the main ones. So in my mind, I think of like Earth, the sun, and the planets, right? But then all of those stars that we don't account for could be like nerve endings. So like, are we in a big ass body? Like, are we living on a cell within a body? Just makes you think. But yeah, so that's yoga. I printed out big ass pictures of each symbol so I could put on my altar. So when I get up from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., I can pray and meditate and have that energy from the symbols and be able to have those as a visual focus. Okay, so that was that. So outside of the chakras, so Tulsa. If you go on YouTube and look that up, you would be surprised. like, apparently he was able to discover that electricity is already all around us right now. And everybody could be using it for free. But the powers that be see this as an opportunity to capitalize and make money, of course, and keep everybody in bondage. So they will not allow that to be. And we should all know this to be true. Just like you can use Fire Stick to get free fuck-ass cable and YouTube, and I'm sorry, not YouTube, Hulu and Amazon and HBO and all of that stuff for free, then we should think electricity is the same way. So my question is, who the fuck is gonna hack the damn electricity? Because I need to have them on speed dial. Because JEA is the biggest ripoff ever. Like, we don't even have no one else we can go through. It's them or nothing where I'm at. And I just don't think that's fair. But I was just like, wow. And he was such a interesting character. Like, he would walk around the building 3 times before he entered. If you look on YouTube, like, you'll see some of his interviews. And he just was like a lot of these scientists, they knew the answers, which throws me for a loop, because you devote your whole life to science, and most of them before they died acknowledged that there was a higher being. So you mean tell me you lived your whole life and you understood that there was a higher being, and you never once gave praise or honor to that being out of all your research and stuff? So it's almost like you have 2 choices in life. You could honor God, for creation and all this other stuff. Or you could research to try to doubt his existence. And then when you find it to be true, you don't even have long to be like, thank you, and this, that, the other. Because you were so busy trying to deny his existence. Well, I'm going to say he or she, so I don't believe in that anymore. But deny the existence of a higher being, that you didn't even get to really form a relationship because you were so busy trying to come up with a reason of why it wouldn't exist. But that's an interesting one to research. That's going to take you down a rabbit hole. Be prepared. Yoga apparently is very good for your body. Just like, we become so stiff. You know how kids are so nimble, and a lot of them can just do splits and stuff, and they squat down in that little funny pose that we can't do. Our body is supposed to stay like that. We are calcifying our bones. They are becoming stiff, and arthritis and all this stuff should not exist. Like, we should definitely be stretching just as much as we work out to make sure that blood is flowing throughout our bodies. And I'm pretty sure the more you practice, the better you'll get. Nobody's telling you to walk around and do a handstand, but I can guarantee if you do it enough, you have no choice but to be able to do this stuff. Just repetition is how you master everything, basically. Not even master it, but just, get better at it the more you do it. Another thing to research is salt cells. Salt cells are different minerals that we need in our body. They don't tell you this. Such as magnesium. Like, a lot of the products that you buy, if you look on the back, you'll see these minerals, right? So they know you need it. They put it on the product or the bottle. But what they don't tell you is that those are man-made. Why would I want man-made magnesium? No, thank you. I need the real magnesium. Like, what are they going to do next? Sell bottled sun? No, thank you. Can I have the real sun rays from the sky? Like, when I found that out, because I used to drink bottled water, like Fiji, Zephyr Hills, Voss, and I switched to distilled because they were like, Number one, it's in the plastic. I don't care if it has BPA on it or not, which is we're supposed to be. If it's in the sun, it's not gonna be no chemicals on it. Like, we have trusted them our whole lives to tell the truth, and always years later, it's some study coming out. So you think I'm going to believe them when they say, oh, we made it bottle free? It's bottle free for how long? Until somebody come up with a test that discovers the other harm effects that it has done? No, I'm not going to wait for you or someone else to come up with a reason as to why it's not healthy, and you going to ball out while it is healthy until somebody does discover that. Like, I just don't want to leave my life in the hands of anyone else anymore. Like, if I can change it, if there's different things that I can do, then I need to be doing it. And that starts with research. So here I am. But let's see. That's another one. Vitamins, being vegan. Oh my God. If you have not saw What the Health on YouTube yet, I beg you, please, even if you're going to eat chicken while you're watching it, a burger while you're watching it, whatever, when you quit is not really important to me. But at least learning stuff that you didn't know before and having that in your mind as a seed, if it's going to grow one day, it will take root. But at least just putting it in your foresight and putting it in your mind is very, very important. And as soon as you click on What the Health at the bottom, guess what? Other videos are going to come up. And let's see. As a child, I never really liked chicken. It was just like bloody and stuff, so I was always like ill about it. And that's just like the dead animal on your plate. But when I saw the actual videos of the slaughterhouse, my heart was so sad. Like, I don't even think there is a humane to kill, period. It is what it is. It's just raw. And because there is such a high demand of it, I don't even think people see them as animals anymore. It is clearly, when you're looking at a cow, it's clearly meat. Nobody sees that as an animal anymore. Chicken, turkey, lamb, pig, whatever. They are literally livestock. Do you know what that reminds me of? African American slaves. Nobody cares if that was a mother or a father or a child. If that man wanted to have sex, he was going to rape her. Or him. And if the child had her period, oh, she's old enough to breed. We need to pick more cotton, and we need some more heads around here. Like, just disregarding another seeing, speaking, living mammal such as yourself and reduce that to a product. We're doing that to the animals now, and I do not agree. So I saw the video. I was convicted. My heart was broken. I felt like such a horrible person, and I made little changes. I did not change overnight. I said, okay, I don't want to eat red meat anymore. So I became a pescatarian. I only ate seafood, shrimp, and fish. And I don't even cook like that. So when I had a taste for it, okay, I have salmon. Okay, I have this kind of fish. Okay, I have a crab boil. Okay, I have some shrimp. So meat options were there. And then I saw like a documentary on fish farming. And it's just as bad. I said, okay, now we need to stop with the fish. So I cut that. I'm on year, what am I on? Year, like I started at the end of the year. So December to December make 1 year, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19. So this December will make year 3 for me. And I used to have digestion problems. Like as a baby, I couldn't drink regular milk. My mother had to give me soy. And so when it came to like different meats and stuff, I would notice it would take a long time to digest. And you're literally supposed to go to the bathroom like 3 times a day. I could not attest to that. But now with these fruits and vegetables, good Lord, Yes, you should definitely be going to the bathroom just like a baby. You eat it, it should come out. Your body takes the nutrients that it needs and disregards everything else. If it is sitting in there, matter of fact, let's think about this. You cut a cow up, right? You package it. It's probably sitting in the storage until the trucks come get it to take it wherever it needs to go. I don't know about you, but where I stay, ain't no freaking chicken, beef, none of that farm. So it's definitely traveling some miles on a truck. So let's say it died 2 weeks ago. It's frozen. It's sitting on a shelf probably at 3 weeks now. And I get it and eat it. That's 3-year-old fucking meat. Do you know when a lion kills its prey, it's eating that shit right away? All the nutrients is going into his body immediately. That goes for the fruit too. I'm not just picking oranges off of a tree. That shit is packaged. It's frozen. It's shipped. Ain't no telling what they do in the bag to pretty it up and then sold. Do you know, back to the meat, if meat gets, I remember my mama said get the red one, it's more fresh. Do you know I saw on one of them documentaries on freaking YouTube, they would dip the meat in blood to give it that red appearance. So yeah, when they kill them cows, they drain the blood and keep the blood. So not only are you selling me bad meat, you're selling me bad meat, you're dipping it in red so they can look fresh to make sure that you sell all of it. And then we wonder why we going to the doctor and we sick and all this other stuff. And the doctors do tell us to eat healthy. They are telling us the truth. Eat healthy. This, that, the other. But a lot of them know. A lot of them know the truth. And I don't understand how you're still... And they make some good money. But I could not be in a profession knowing that I swore an oath to basically sell prescriptions. That's how I feel. Because if you aren't a holistic doctor, you are not curing people. You're giving them a pacifier. You know what headaches are? It's telling your body that something's wrong. And I would definitely look into that. When you have a headache on different sides of your head, I'm pretty sure it means different things. No, you want to take an aspirin, Motrin, or Advil to make the throbbing go away? No. How about you fix the issue? Your body probably saying too much salt, too much sugar, you need to exercise, you need some sun, and it's trying to tell you. You don't know how to read them signals, and you thinking it's a problem, and you just want to stop or suppress it. If that ain't the dumbest thing, I don't know what is. So no, they are not curing us. They are giving us pacifiers. Grown people walking around with pacifiers in their medicine cabinets. And when they want to cry, they just take the pacifier out. Really? Another thing is the Bible. I love the Bible. I'm so glad that I was raised Christian because it really did give you a foundation. But the Bible is not literal, people. You have to decode the fuck out of it. You really do. Every religion points back to it. They say Psalms is a book of spells. Even Jesus himself. But God was blind. Did he not pick up dirt, spit on it, and wipe the man's eyes? That definitely seems like a spell to me. But no, we just call it a miracle and keep it moving. What kind of soil was that? Was that clay? A lot of my natural females know about that clay that everybody's putting in their hair. I wonder what type of dirt that was with healing properties in it that he put on his eyes. But I digress. You could take that and roll with it. Words. The study of words, etymology, very, very important. And I didn't know black actually means bright light. So they got us thinking that it's dark. No, it is bright light. From black, you get all of the colors. Without black, there are no other colors. And just, even with words being spells, you have to be careful with a lot of words. Because we're literally saying spells all day long. So we are like the zombie movies that they have. They're like laughing at us. We really are zombies working around. And I like to call it simpleton. That's in the Bible. We have a whole computer in our hand. And whoever made Google and YouTube, my God. And you do have to take everything with a grain of salt. Please. Do your own research on top of research on top of research. But there's no way 20 different people can say the same thing 20 different ways and it equals the same thing. At some point, you have to call a spade, whether you believe it or not. You just have to, even if you aren't to the point of believing it, you have to say, okay, there is something there. Crystals. On my Snapchat, I showed my little crystal. Crystals are really good for protection. Even in the Bible, there was this book that was full of crystals on it. Even when they described the 12 tribes of Judah, I think, they each were represented by a stone. Stones are of the earth. They have healing properties in them. That research will take you very, very far as well. You can put them under the moon to charge them under the sun. Some of them you can wash. You can wear them in your bra. They have yoni eggs for women. Hell, they have yoni dildos. You can do your Kegels and different healings. I mean, some massages, don't they use stones in different massages? So it's not just crystals. It's different rocks and stuff too. Like somebody was like, if you don't have the money to get the crystals, you could get rocks and write different names of intention on them, because they all come from the ground, so they do have energy. Everything is energy. So maybe it's not as powerful, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have energy. Angels are definitely real. We know about some of them, Gabriel, Michael, like archangels. I think when some of the Egyptian deities, they name different names, I think they call them whatever they call them, and then in the Christian world they call them angels. Is that not the same thing? Something that is under God but magical, and has a specific power or for protection and stuff. Why can we accept one thing and not the other? Definitely look into the Egyptians. It's a lot to learn. And again, even if you don't believe, how can you deny something or form an educated opinion about something that you have not researched on your own? Not by what someone has said, on your own. You cannot go into a store. Somebody cannot tell you to go in a store and steal it. Yeah, girl, it's free. Just take it off the rack and put it in your purse and walk out. And the police say, excuse me, ma'am, is there something in your bag? Yeah, it's a shirt. She told me to get it. That's not going to fly. You know who they're going to take to jail? You, not the other person. So let's just say you meet God and he say, you had it all wrong. You're not going to be able to say, the pastor told me this, or my grandmother told me this, or my mama told me this. He probably going to be like, and again, I'm so used to the he. It's not a he or she. But God probably going to be like, you had a whole computer in your hand. You had plethora of time, and you just decided to roll with one thing. You didn't try to compare it to something else. You didn't try to research anything else. You know what I mean? Like you will literally have no excuse. I'd rather go to God and be like, oh my God, I saw all this stuff, this, that, da, 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 versus I just rolled down one lane. At least you could see I tried to find the answer by looking at everything versus one thing. That's like playing the lottery. You know, when people get one ticket, some people go get 100 tickets. Who has a greater chance of winning? I'm just saying. And it's not really a game, but I believe there's a truth in every lie and a lie in every truth. So if you think your answer is the truth, if it's a lie, you don't even have no other truths to compare it with. Like, I don't know. The internet just makes it too easy today. Maybe back in the day when you had to go find all these books and travel and this, that, and the other. Research just seemed harder back then, but I don't think we really have an excuse nowadays at all. They even have a spiritual YouTube. It's called Gaia, Gaia. It's nothing but spiritual things on there, and it's not just one religion. It plays all type of spiritual, metaphysical, different types of things. You know what I mean? Just to like learn and expand your mind. And I'd rather look at that than freaking reality TV nowadays. I'm so behind on all my shows, and it doesn't even bother me. Like, It's more. It's just so much more that you could be researching. The Dharma wheel, D-A-R. I think I'm spelling that right. I meant to say wrong. I was spelling it wrong. D-A-R-M-A-H wheel. The Dharma wheel. That's interesting. Essential oils. That's part of the aromatherapy. Horoscopes. Oh my God, I did my birth chart. You need to know what time you're born. But the planets, your houses, the signs, it's very, very interesting. You will not be disappointed with what you read. Rinky, apparently we can heal with our hands. If you don't believe it's true, don't they do it in the church? Don't you see the pastor with the handkerchief putting his hand on the person's forehead with oil or anointed oil? Okay, well, if the pastor could do it, then apparently we all should be able to do it. And to not teach my people how to do something that I can so easily do is like robbery to me. Everything that I learn, I share. I haven't even mastered it yet. I ain't even get to page 2 and I'm sharing it. Because why do I want to hold it for myself? Like, why? That's what's wrong. We have such a crap mentality. Share. I don't want somebody to keep coming to me and calling me all times of the night anyway, asking me to pray for them. So let me show you what I did or how I did it so that you could do it. And you could show somebody, and you could show somebody. And then we all are so sufficient. Like, why are we such dependent people? This pastor has 500 people that are crying and complaining and want him to pray for them. No. You need to figure out how to do this. It makes no sense. And you've been a member of a church for how many years? And you still got to call for help? I don't know. At some point, the child should become a teenager, a young adult, and an adult, right? Okay, I wonder what that is in the spiritual world. Because there's a lot of spiritual babies out there. There's a lot of Christian babies out there. I'm just saying. And you don't have to open up no church to grow. But by all means, please grow. I believe cloning is real. That's something to look into. That's all over YouTube. There is this saying, so as above is below. Meaning everything has a divine order. The way things work in the heavens is exactly how they work on earth. You know what I mean? And also in your body and stuff. The universal laws, that's another thing to look up. The ether, that'll take you far. Some people say chi. Some people say life force. Some people say spirit. Some people say soul, ether, energy. The Egyptians apparently had silver and gold rods. Because we are electric beings, we should really, all this fake jewelry is really about copper and silver and gold and the crystals that I was telling you about. Like, we really should have this stuff on our body as protection and stuff, and to harbor our energy, and we just don't. So if you look that up, I think they used to charge themselves with silver and gold rods. And some stores online, like if you Google it, they still sell that stuff today. Silver, gold, copper, aluminum, I believe. It's different ways that you can get it. Some people even drink liquid gold, liquid copper, liquid silver, but you definitely have to be educated. I haven't gone that far yet. But you can buy it on Amazon. And for us to need all these minerals that we don't digest, just imagine how much better the body would function